my fellow Americans, we have to show not just that we're back, but we're back to stay. And that we aren't going to go it alone. We're going to do it by leading with our allies.
America sure is back, right back to the lead from behind policies of the Obama years, right back to high gas prices, border crisis brought on by executive orders and liberal pandering. In his new article on Newsmax.com, columnist and presidential historian Doug Weed asks if Joe Biden is America's worst president. It's a big statement. Doug joins us now to talk about it. It's good to see you, sir.
Hey, good to see you. I loved your opening. I had all my family come in and watch it. That was tight and that was good.
I appreciate it. I do appreciate that. Yeah, COVID is it's still a talker, of course. I want to talk about this, though. I mean, I think a lot of Democrats are in love with Biden. He's got this approval rating that's around 55%. Ostensibly, you think he was doing a great job. In your article, though, you mentioned Biden has repeatedly mentioned he will be leading with our allies. But how can you lead with our allies when you're more concerned about people firing rockets into Israel than the safety of the Israelis themselves? Go into a little bit about what this op-ed talks about.
Yeah, well, it doesn't give me any pleasure in saying this or writing this. I don't want to. Yeah. I want the Bidens to be successful, but he comes into power. Immediately has Kerry share with the Iranians secret intel from our ally, Israel, giving it to our mortal enemy, Iran. He releases billions of dollars in sanctions that were on Iran, who sponsors terrorism all over the world. And then to sweeten the pie, rushes them $135 million. And bingo, rockets are raining down on the Israeli people, citizens, innocent citizens in the United States who are Jewish are being attacked on the streets of New York and Los Angeles and Chicago. This is outrageous. I mean, just today, every embassy in the world, American embassy, has Black Lives Matter flag flying.
A Marxist group.
Founded by communists, by Marxists. How can he get worse than what he's doing? It's outrageous. Unfortunately, it's heartbreaking.
It is. I mean, and it's so. I can't get my finger on what's happening in this country because I mean, I think what it is more than anything is just the loss of a good media. I think is such a big part of it. When you have a media that champions this kind of left-wing nonsense, when they don't play it down the middle, when you don't at least have a couple of networks that are going to play it straight and give it to people straight, all is lost because I don't think people realize how formed their opinions are by the media. People don't realize that almost all of what they think comes from some kind of media, whether it's movies or TV shows or news shows. It's really something.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. And we don't know what we don't know. That was a lesson learned from behind the Iron Curtain. Alexander Solzhenitsyn once said that when the truth is replaced by silence, that silence is a lie. That could explain the Biden story of the Biden son. None of that
and real
reported.
Quick. And just because we're getting a little tight on time here, there have been comparisons made between Biden and former President Jimmy Carter. I wanted to get your thoughts on that. That popped up a couple weeks ago.
Well, yes, and Biden, he has all these misstatements because of his cognitive problems. One of them just recently was if you make $400,000 or less, you will pay no taxes, he said. That's not what he meant.
I love it.
Yes, they may not raise the taxes, but they raise the price of milk, of diapers, of gasoline. Yeah. That's the inflation that's hit. The good news, Rob, to take away from this is that if communism comes to America, the first people they'll throw into prison will be all these anchors on CNN because the Trotskyites, the allies, are the first they take out.
That's right. That's very, very interesting. Doug Weed, Newsmax columnist and presidential historian. Always love to talk to you, sir. And you can read Doug's columns at Newsmax.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
For some reason, this interview you just saw was heavily censored. The only way we know to get around that is if you subscribe to this channel, YouTube channel, and hit the bell. And or if you send this link to a friend in an email, that can get through. Or subscribe to Rumble. They don't seem to censor these. But this one is especially experiencing some rough censorship. Thank you. We're gonna live through this. Bye-bye.